Hey Google, restart video.
Hey everyone, Scott Innes, voice actor, Hollywood actor, movie star. Don't believe all that. I'm a legend in my own mind. Hey, you know me better as the voice of some of the most popular cartoon characters in the world. Scooby-Dooby-Doo! Scrappy-Dappy-Doo! Puppy Tower! Black and Shaggy too! And you've got the Sullivan Project podcast coming at you right now.
Hey Google, stop. What's up, everyone? This is Harold Sullivan. This is the Sullivan Project podcast. Hey Chris, what's up? We got Chris here.
What's up, everybody?
Trials and tribulations, right? But guys, we're here by the grace of God. Let me get in the spot here. All right, you can hear me good? You got Chris? You can hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah, I got the phone. Phone was about to die right before Actually, right as soon as I called Chris, the phone started dying. And if y'all have tuned in before, I lost my sight a couple years ago. I was born with an autoimmune disease, and but I'm still here. You know, I've been in this wheelchair since I was a child. And Chris has been my friend since we were in elementary school, and I couldn't reach the camera. It was a little bit out of my reach, and then I called him up, and then the phone starts dying, and I get it plugged in every night. So I don't know if it was just a cord. Like sometimes, I mean, you plug it in and then things don't charge. I don't know. I just gotta try to remember who plugs it in to ask, hey, is it to make sure it's charging? You know, because this is weird. It's happened 3 or 4 times now. I charge the phone every night because I keep it plugged in case I need to use it for emergency in the bed, you know. And all of a sudden, it's like it talks to me and says it's about to die. I'm like, I haven't even used it yet today. So, and then the heater kicks on right before, you know. But so if y'all have that in the background, please turn it up a little louder if you're having trouble here. But anyway, we're here. Hey Google, turn your volume to 50%. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 6:20 p.m.
Just so I know. Okay, that's 6. Yeah, it took us a couple of minutes, but we got it. And I got the phone plugged in while we're on here, and I think it's charging. I'm not sure. I was a little distraught. Like when I didn't pay attention to whether it said. Sometimes it talks and says charging, and sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, it's there. And we just had a Friday the 13th, right? A couple days ago. I was thinking about.
2 days ago.
Yeah. Remember when we were younger? Every movie, you know, Friday the 13th movie, every couple of years or every year they brought one out. So you knew when there was a Friday the 13th on the calendar that there might be a Jason movie. And it sucks that there hasn't been one for a long time. You know, like now, if they were making movies, they would have had a new Friday the 13th movie out. So, because you don't have a Friday the 13th too often. Is there like once a year, I think? There's a Friday the 13th on the calendar. Not too often. Maybe sometimes twice a year. It's not too often. But and then we got Halloween at the end of the month here, 31st. And then so we're going to talk about some more scary movies. And then congratulations, Chris. We just hit 100 episodes
Yeah.
for the podcast. Yeah. You haven't been on since we hit 100. And I had Dean Cain from Superman as a guest. He did a cameo. So if y'all want to check that out, go to YouTube, Harold Sullivan 78, TikTok, Harold Sullivan 78, or Facebook, Harold Sullivan _35 for any of the podcast stuff or any paranormal videos or fan films I've done. I'm actually working on some songs, and I just started writing another song. So maybe I'll let y'all hear some lyrics and let me know what you think before I even put them in the computer or anything, you know. And I'm a big fan of Superman, so this year is Superman's 85th anniversary. Did you know that, Chris? Superman's 85. So that's why I figured I'm going to do a couple podcasts on Superman stuff here this month in October. I did one on Superman the movie, the original one, which I'm going to be putting up. It should be up before this one, actually. So, if y'all want to check that out. And but we're the horror icons here, me and Chris. We got 100 years, over 100 years worth of horror movie knowledge. So, that's our thing, right? We're into scary movies. So, we're going to talk about that. How about the Steelers and the Penguins first? You want to do that? So, what are the Steelers now?
Those pets, yeah.
Yeah, the Steelers, what's the Penguins record? They won 2 in a row, right?
Yeah, two and one.
So
Yeah.
2-1. Pittsburgh Steelers are 3 and 2. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that, but yeah.
It's a bye week this week. They're not playing this week.
Yeah, isn't that odd how I kind of knew that, but I didn't know that? Because I was asking you what the schedule was, and we were going to talk or something, but I forget what. But then we scheduled it, and here I didn't even know we had a bye, and we did. That's pretty neat. You know. Oh no, what it was I was talking about them on the podcast, saying they were 3 and 2, and I was like, man, this is going to be old, but you know, it wasn't because they actually have a bye. So they're still 3 and 2, right? Yeah, they're going to be 3 and 2 for another week, something like that. But yeah, so they're. I mean, what are they looking like? Their quarterback, is he playing? He got hurt, right? He came back. Pickett, whatever his name is.
I don't think so. Did he get hurt? I don't know.
In the middle of one game, he did. Who do we got? We got a Pickens and a Pickett, right? Because I get confused.
Yeah, there's Pickett.
Pickett and Pickett. I don't know who they're. I can't see, so you know what I mean? I don't know who's who. I'm just listening to the game most of the time. The Penguins, though, they sound exciting, but it sounds like the same old patterns, man. They can score them goals, but they can't play defense. This is terrible. The goalies make some saves, though, right? The goalies have been making some saves.
Yeah, the goalies are doing good.
And we got a young guy, didn't we? Didn't we get a younger guy? I forget who he is. And they said he's doing really good. And maybe he was a draft pick in the first round. I can't remember. But we did get somebody. And who else did we get? Yeah, speaking of that, you know more because who did we get in the off season now? We got that defenseman, right, that gets 100 points a season.
Carlson. Yeah.
Carlson. And then we got Ragnarsson or somebody else, or.
You got Ryan Graves. You got Lars Eller.
Okay, Lars Eller. Oh wow. Okay. I've heard of a few of these guys. Yeah. Usually we don't get guys. You know what I mean? Or we get them at the end and they're no good.
And Robbie Smith. He's pretty good.
Okay. See, and then we got that goalie, right? We got a new goalie.
Nadalkovich. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. That's the one that was making saves the other day.
Like yeah, he was in goal last night.
Yeah, like on his head and stuff, right? They're like, he saying it's on his head or it's right on the back of him or something. They were trying to poke it in, yeah. Okay. And then we got that. Oh, let's see here. Quantum Leap. You're not into that, the new show, but I want to let people know about the second episode of Quantum Leap. I'm actually a producer on that podcast, so wherever you find podcasts, go to the Quantum Leap podcast. Harold Sullivan at the end where the producers are. And I've been on there a few times. And but the second episode, it's called Ben and Teller, okay? So it makes you think it's going to be about magic, but it's actually about a robbery. And so this guy leaps in to save whatever. There's a robbery going on. Apparently everybody gets killed. So he leaps in to save them from getting killed. And the guy who's robbing the bank, his sister, or one of the guys robbing the bank, his sister works at the bank. So he has to kind of save these people. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird because first of all, the holograms don't show up until the very end. Spoilers for people. And then she's already got a new boyfriend. So they think that this guy's dead because he's been gone. They can't find him right for a couple of years. So she already moves on within 3 years and has another boyfriend. Then they find this guy leaping through time. So now there's like a love triangle, which I don't understand all that. We don't really need that. And then the whole time he's by himself for the whole week pretty much till the end when she comes in. And then it's like he knows something was wrong already and she's trying to hide it. It's like, dude, he's only been gone. But what is up with limited movies? And I don't know in real life if they would do that. You ever notice how like in Titanic and The Castaway and movies like that where the guy disappears, the women give up, right? They don't wait for him to come back usually. And then the guy comes back and his wife is married to someone else or she's dead or committed suicide. That's sad. Where's the hope at? You know, even in Quantum Leap, the original show, right? Uh, the one guy, his wife left. He was in the military, right? So he got captured, and he was in Vietnam or whatever. And his wife gave up because he was disappeared for a few years and got married to someone else, and it just ruined him the rest of his life because he came back, and this whole time he was in there, the only way he kept alive was thinking about getting home to his wife. This is the original Quantum Leap now, and so he comes back to his wife after like so many years being in a Vietnam camp, Cambodia or whatever. He's talking about these little cages he's in, and he don't get fed, you know. And then here his wife left him for someone else. Like Jesus. But everything in the episode is set up predictable. It's like they write stuff and they're like, okay, how can we make it work? And like, okay, oh, the cops, he changed history, so now the cops are going to come in and kill everybody instead of one person. How can we get out? Is there a back door? Oh, there used to be an extension. They were trying to build on a wall next door, so if we go in the basement, there's an old doorway that's covered that we can get out. You know what I mean? Like, this is all in this. That's just too gullible and likely that that's going to be in there, right? But that's the episode. That's why a lot of people don't like the new show compared to the old show. It's like they're writing a problem and then trying to figure out how to fix it and go backwards, right? Instead of writing something and then being like, okay, what happens next? They're writing the end and they're like, okay, what can we go back from there? And I don't like that. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just finished the book on Psycho. That's what we're going to talk about. Let me check the notes here. Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 20 notes. First note, we always want we need nothing. Second note, birthday grid quantum leap psycho book. Third
Okay.
note, swan song energy hand speaker voice penguin stealer.
Alexa, stop.
And fourth note.
Okay, let me see here. Oh, you ever heard of swan song? You know the phrase swan song, right, Chris?
I never heard of it.
Well, they say it's kind of like something sweet. They say it's a song. They say, oh, bless you, was that sneeze? They say it was a swan song. But anyway, the word I just found out, swan song means apparently when swans are dying, they sing a song like a melody, and that's because they know they're on their way to heaven, and it's like they're on their way out. So it's like a grace they sing. I didn't know that. It's neat how they come up with these little myths and ideas. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, a rainbow's round, so you can't find the end of a rainbow. But the end of the rainbow is actually underground. A rainbow's a complete circle. A lot of people don't know that. So there's no way you can actually find the end of a rainbow to get the pot of gold because a rainbow's a complete circle. But a swan sings a song before it dies. It's almost like it's going into heaven. It's like being, sworn in, or I forget. You know what I mean? It's neat. And then I'm going to tell people one more thing here to do. We're going to talk about Psycho, 1960, Alfred Hitchcock, the movie. And who's starring in the movie? You want to tell them? Chris?
What?
Yeah, who stars in the movie? You want to tell them Psycho?
Anthony Perkins, Mark Balsam.
Wait, hold on. Anthony Perkins, who else? Oh, Janet Leigh?
Janet Leigh.
Yep. And what was the other guy? What was the third?
What is it, Mark Balsam? Yeah.
That's
Detective.
He's the guy that played Brat, what's his name?
Who played Sam Loomis in that?
I don't know, but that guy was a popular guy at the time too. But Braxis, what's the doctor? What's the investigator's name? Arbogast.
Arbogast.
Arbogast, yeah. It's so hard to say. Some of the characters are a little bit different in the book. But, oh yeah, hands.
Oh yeah, the books are always a little bit different.
A little bit different, yeah. But the magnet hand, this is something you can try too, which is neat. So what you do is you put your hands flat, right? With your palms facing your body, and you put your first finger and your thumbs touching each other like opposite hands, like almost like a diamond shape, And then you move your hands away from your body about 2 feet, and slowly start to move your hands in towards like where your abs are, your chest, and see if you can feel any kind of like static electricity. You'll actually be able to feel your energy field When you get close to it, you'll feel it push away a little bit. And it's neat because I tried it. The first time I tried it, it worked for me. And I don't even get my hands flat, but I can feel it. Can you feel it? I don't know if you want to try it or not, but you can feel your body's energy. It's almost like, you know how you have magnets and you put two magnets together and they kind of push apart a little? You can almost feel your hands being pushed away by your body a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you feel that? Did you
A
try it?
little bit.
Yeah, like if you hold your hands touching, you know, your finger and your thumb on both hands in the middle of your stomach, 2 feet away, just slowly get closer, right? You can almost feel a little thing when you get close pushing away, right? When you get about 6 or 8 inches from your body, you can. That's pretty neat. It's a way you can actually feel your own body energy, your own magnetic field. Because we all have a field. We're all made out of energy. And Greg's girlfriend's birthday is about to come up here this week. And you know what's neat? I had a feeling, I was like, hey, somebody's birthday, or maybe his birthday's coming up or something. I was going to ask him. And then he's like, no, he told me, she came right out. He's like, what are you going to get me for my birthday? It's on the 21st, right? So I was thinking, you know what? Remember on your birthday, I gave you a reading. I did astrology, a little bit numerology. Maybe I'll get the books out, the audio books, and I'll do that for her. I just got to get her a year. I don't have her a year. And I'll do a little astrology, numerology, for Mary Beth is her name. That's Bible right there, right? Mary and Beth. She got 2 Bible names. So maybe I'll do that for her birthday here in a couple of days. But it's neat how I was thinking somebody's birthday. And I don't think she told me her birthday before. I don't know. But we'll be doing that. So we're going to get to Psycho. And I just got done with the book by Robert Bloch, right? I listened to the audio book of the making of the movie Alfred Hitchcock Psycho as well. So it's pretty neat. You know, the movie came out in 1960. The book was 1959. So Alfred Hitchcock found that book, and right away he's like, I have to make a movie. And it was different than any of his stuff before. And he actually financed it with his own money. And he used his TV show crew that did Alfred Hitchcock Presents, which was a good show. And this was all way before my time. I was born in '78, you know. But this shows how we're diverse, right? We're checking out movies back in the '60s and the '50s, and we got them going all the way back here. But yeah, so it was on a low budget crew, but that's what made it so good. You know what I mean? In my opinion. And they were doing color, but he decided to do black and white, which made it even more creepy. So.
Hell, Not the Living Dead original was in black and white too, and that was '68.
Yeah, that was great too. See, I didn't even know. I'm growing up thinking there wasn't color but they used it to their advantage, you know what I mean? Back then. Because like I said, they used chocolate syrup for blood, and you can't tell because it's on camera, and, you know, it's black, so. But Hitchcock lighted and everything. He made it all, the colors and everything were still, even though it was black and white, you know, he still did everything as far as color. It would have been done in color. Like everything was dressed appropriately. He didn't like just skim to be like black and white everything, because he wanted it to be a period piece, and it had to look like the '50s. It had to, you know, sound like it. It just had to be, you know, familiar. So, so what are some of your favorite parts of? What do you like about Psycho, 1960?
It's a good movie.
Yeah. Well, what do you give it a rating? You said what did you say the other day? A 4, right? When we were talking about bringing it up. 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I give it a 4. Definitely a 4.
At least, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
I don't want to go too high of a 4 with any of mine, but if I do, this would be one like maybe 4.2, you know, or 4.1 if I did a point.
Yeah,
But
go 4.2.
it's pretty.
It's good enough.
It's pretty good. I mean, pretty close to like what could you do different? Yeah, you know what I mean. What would you do? There's nothing you could do different. I mean, you can't remake it, even though it has been remade with Vince Vaughn and Anne Heche, right, in the '90s. I think it was '98, maybe '90s, '97. I don't know. And that was a good movie too, though. Vince Vaughn was creepy playing Norman Bates. So.
Anne Heche played Marion Crank.
Yeah, she was pretty good too. And
Anne Heche got in a bad vehicle accident. Did I tell you about that?
Nah, what was this?
No, she was in a coma for a long time. I don't know if she survived or what.
Oh God. appreciate it. I'll have to look it up. She's very spiritual and stuff. Because I had seen her on, she's been on a lot of celebrity psychic shows, like talking to people. Because she's into all that, so that's sad. I liked her. She was in a couple of movies. Remember that one with Harrison Ford where they crashed on the island? 6 Days, 7 Nights. A couple other things. And Hesh. But, so what were some of your favorite parts of the movie?
Everybody knows the notorious shower scene.
Yeah, at the beginning. We got to talk about that right away, huh? At the beginning, I mean, just like in the book, okay? And I thought about this. This same thing happens in A Nightmare on Elm Street. So Wes Craven, there had to be an homage with Tina, right? Because in the beginning of A Nightmare on Elm Street, you think Tina's going to be the lead girl, right? And then what happens? Freddy gets her like a couple minutes into the movie. And same with this. Spoilers. The lead lady who comes in a couple minutes, she's killed right away in the beginning. And then that just is like, okay. And usually that's the end. So this is just like a shock from the beginning. And then it calms you down. And then at the end, there's another shock, right? That's a double. Like, movies don't usually do that either because it just doesn't work. How do you do a double shock? At the beginning and the end. But then, yeah, you have the shower scene where the lady's killed right away. How about we start that off and then we'll go. So, how does it start off at the beginning? Just, the lady she takes the money, right, at the office. So there's a lady who works, or she's messing with a married man. All right, so she's messing with a married man. And that's different than the book, right? Because in the book, he's not married. They changed it. Spoilers again. But, so this lady works at an office at a bank. And she's got she's messing with a married man, and she wants to be with him, but they can't be together. And so this guy brings in like $40,000 for her deposit, and she takes it instead, runs away with it. She wants to go find her, her lover and whatever, be together. So she stops off at the hotel. And that's where this stuff happens. Karma anyway, right? So in the book, the guy just says he don't have enough money and can't bring the girl in his life, and he runs a carpentry store or something? He's not married. Sam Loomis. And his name, and his name is Sam Loomis, which is another call to Halloween. See, in Halloween they named Dr. Loomis, John Carpenter, after Sam Loomis from Psycho. Had to be. Right? So, just like Wes Craven doing Tina, and just like at the beginning, there's on screen, right? There's a date and a time that the movie takes place in the beginning, and I don't remember them doing that before any movies. Maybe they did, but same thing they did in Halloween. Remember, they'd be like October 30th, and then they'd be like October 31st, Halloween, and they put it on screen with titles. They did that in Psycho in the original one. But it opens up, there's a bunch of scenes, like a sky scene with like a crane going in the window, and then you got them fooling around in the hotel. And she has this is something I didn't notice, she has like white lingerie on, and then black later. So I guess Hitchcock wanted to be like, okay, she's kind of nice and then naughty. And these are little details that you don't really notice, but he did that just for an effect. So at one point, and there's no nudity, but you can swear there is. They weren't allowed to have nudity. So even in the shower, it's cut. It looks like she's naked, but she's not. And she's stabbed, she's basically, she runs away, she takes the money, runs away, goes to the hotel, gets a room. There's a guy, Norman Bates, he runs the hotel. He's a younger guy though, right? He's like in his 20s or so, maybe 30. But in the book, he's an older guy, he's an alcoholic, he's obese. And he blacks out, right? In the book? Norman does, yeah. He drinks and blacks out, and that's when things happen, and he doesn't realize it. And in the movie, he eats candy. He doesn't eat candy in the book. He drinks, like I said, and blacks out. So, in the book. So, in the movie, I believe it was Anthony Perkins is the one that suggested I should eat some candy. Or it was candy corn or something he was chewing on the whole time. He was eating like candy corn. He had dishes of it.
Yeah, he was eating candy corn.
Yeah, so he came up with that idea. Isn't that cool? They originally wanted an older guy, but then when he came in and did the audition, it was like, okay, this is it. So, That's pretty neat. And then they did all these little things, yeah. So you got the shower. So what happens is, yeah, she's in the shower and she's trying to wash off all this dirt, pretty much, you know. And she stole all this money. It's in her car though, and she just leaves it in there locked up. Gets a hotel room for the night, and then she killed in the shower. And then the movie goes on from there. The lady, her sister, and the future to would-be husband of the missing girl, they go and they get or actually, who was it that hires? Who hires Arborgrass? It's the company, right, with the money, or was it?
Yeah,
It was the insurance company, right, with the money. And then, but how did they run into Arborgrass? He calls them. That's what I don't understand, because the book is different than the movie. So the girl runs. The insurance company sends the detective to find the girl who stole the money, right? But how do they run in? How does he run into?
$40,000 he took.
Yeah, how does the detective run into Loomis and Lila? Is that her name,
In
Lila?
the department store it was.
In a department store. Okay.
Yeah.
It's different, you know. They change it all around. So somehow
Well,
they
they're
just
gonna change it around a little bit.
somehow they just ran into each other, right? Oh, they were searching too. Okay, is that what it was? They were looking for her too? That's right. They were looking for her, and he was looking for her, and they ran into each other? That's what happened, right, Chris? Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so they were all looking for the girl, and that's when they ran into each other, right? Yeah, they were all looking for each other. But anyway, Arborgrass goes up there and can't find anything, but he sees Norman's mother in the window. And then, of course, the sheriff, you know, says, you're mistaken, Norman's mother's been dead for so many years or whatever. Arborgrass is not in when he goes in the house. They always try to sneak in, you know what I mean? And then later on, he disappears and don't call them back. So the couple...
Yeah, 'cause he gets murdered, that's
Yeah.
why.
And then the couple, they go to the house. I mean, nobody, like, everybody underestimates Norman, and they just all let this stuff go. They all, you know, and it's just like the real life Ed Gein, who he was based off of. Remember Kate Hodder played Ed Gein, the butcher of Plainfield, and they actually based Silence of the Lambs and Texas Chainsaw off the same guy. Same with Psycho, all Ed Gein. And he really did cut up people. He dug up dead bodies. He made
Almost, yeah.
furniture out of people, skin, you know. But in Psycho, it was pretty much his mother. But anyway, they just get tired of stuff don't make sense, and they go to the house up in the back, the hotel, and find there's nothing there, right? And then the mother comes out to attack the woman, and then Loomis comes up from behind the man does, and wrestles her, and the wig falls off, right, and the knife, and here it's Norman dressed as a woman. So, and then at the end he's in the asylum because they lock him up. And Ed Gein actually did die in an asylum quietly, like as an old man, like 80 years old. But they talk about at the end, his doctor comes on and kind of talks about how he has multiple personalities, and he became, after his mother died, he became his mother, and he would talk with his mother's voice, and he dug up his mother and dressed her and laid her in bed, and it's creepy. And back at that time, this was something different and new. You know, nobody, like 1959, this was written. And you know what? This was around the time right after Ed Gein and all the murders were discovered, and Robert Bloch had written a lot of stuff and didn't even know the evidence and details, but it ended up that what he was writing had been true. So that's pretty creepy too, right? And they say that happens a lot when people write stuff. They kind of pull it out of somewhere, even if they don't know it, and they write it and it happens, or it's already happened. So a lot of that stuff was like based on the true stuff, and he didn't even know. Yeah. Let's see what else here. Oh, so here's some other facts about it. Oh, hey Google, what time is it?
It's 6:47 p.m.
Okay. We'll be wrapping up here in a little bit. You get some food here, Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to after we get off.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about the little delay. I gotta make sure. Next time I'll make sure I got the camera and everything a half hour beforehand. freaking phone charged. I'll make sure everything is good to go. And then I won't have to pull it out the last minute. They should be able to hear it good though because this is pretty loud. But yeah, so several times in the movie they had different people playing Mother because they didn't have an actress, right? They weren't sure how they were going to do it. So they had Anthony Perkins in the dress. They had a couple other people. They had women in the dress. And they even had a small person, right? I don't know how they pulled this off. I guess for like shadow angles and stuff when she's running through the hall. It's a smaller person, like a 3-foot person. So Hitchcock did these things to fool people. And then he also did different voices for Mother. So there was a man and women doing the voice of Mother. There were 3 or 4 different actors and actresses throughout the movie, so that you really didn't, like, it kept you on the edge. And it made it eerie because you're like, something ain't right here. But it's Mother talking, or is it Norman, or is it a man or woman? You know, you don't know who, like, what it is. And did you ever notice the music too? It's kind of like, I think Friday the 13th pretty much took that music from Psycho. You know, it's like that, 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 that. You know, they did that with Friday the 13th. They just changed the speed a little bit, right? So they kind of copied the music for Psycho. I mean, Psycho was really one of the first. It was a. I mean, can you consider that a slasher? It was a mystery. It was a thriller, but it was a slasher. I mean, and they said there were several bodies. What he did was he pushed the bodies in the car, and then there was a lake out back, and he was in the swamp, and he would just put them down in the swamp and cover up the tracks, and so he was killing these people. And I think some of that might have been what happened in real life too. And they had given the butcher a playing field, and that's something though. So, and then there was other. Oh, the first time a toilet was ever shown in a movie, that's a fact. It was Psycho, because they didn't allow nudity, nothing sexual, no naughtiness, swearing, and they didn't even want to show you a toilet. You know, and they could show you a bed, I think, but they couldn't show you a bed if anything was happening in it. You know what I mean? You can't kiss on the bed. The bed is only to sleep in 1960. So, but there's a scene in the movie where she rips up what she wrote on a piece of paper and she flushes it. He had to fight the ratings board to get them to let that scene in, because it's an artistic scene where you just see the paper going down the toilet when he flushes, just like whenever she's killed in the shower. And you know how the blood goes down the drain? That's another artistic scene. She's laying there, her eyes are open, she's dead, and the blood, and it goes down the drain around in a circle. And they had to shoot that to get that just right so it goes down, and they end the scene on that right there. That was shocking though, right? Oh, and here's another homage, right? Remember in Halloween, in the closet scene, right, at the end of Halloween? That's an homage to the shower scene in Psycho, right? When Michael Myers opens the closet, he's getting Jamie Lee Curtis. That's the same thing. That's the same.
Well, he breaks the door down to get to her.
Yeah. Well, that's an homage to the shower scene, right? Whenever the shower curtain is ripped open and he stabbed, and then Psycho, Norman is stabbing. See, John Carpenter rewrote that and made that creepy. He made it a closet instead. It's a little confined area, and it's a fear we all have, right? If you're hiding in the closets or you're in the shower. I mean, that's creepy in the shower. Someone's in there with you. You know what I mean? You're in the closet and someone's in there with, or just someone's in the closet, period. It's creepy. And they played on all these things, you know. And he did a lot of revolutionary things back in 1960, Alfred Hitchcock. There were scenes, for instance, the swamp, the hotel or motel, what is it called? The motel's on the 1 floor, right? Hotel's on 1 floor. Motel's on, I don't know the difference. If y'all know the difference, let us know. Right? Let us write in a message, and you know, if you want to be on the show, let us know. Rate, comment, share. We appreciate it. You know, what do we say? Everyone has a story, and you can't judge a book by its cover. So if you want to come on, or if you want me to get something out for you, and hit me up, hit us up, or call the show 724-513-1472. But before we go here, yeah. So there was like 3 locations in the movie, pretty much. There was the hotel, there was the house, and then there was the swamp area, and there were 3 different spots. But and they didn't have green screen technology and none of that back then. So they figured out a certain way to shoot it. So they had like they had a projector and like a black sheet. So they were able to project the house up behind, and Norman walked out, and they had him walking on a projector, and they shot that on the screen, so it looked like he's walking out and going up the steps into the house, but he's really not. It's all like 3 different shots, and they composited it together with no technology. You know, it's amazing how they did that. Same with when she's riding in the car and she stole the money and she's leaving, and she's trying to find somewhere to stop, you know, on the way to her boyfriend or whatever. They shot cars with screens behind them. They didn't have driving cars with cameras back then. So they didn't have any way to do car lights. So what they did was they had this wheel that they would turn, and they put little Christmas lights on it, right? White lights. And so someone off screen was turning this camera or this little wheel so the lights would come by behind her. So it's like they're driving by. Like, isn't that neat? So when it looks like she's driving and you see black behind her and you see these lights go by, but it's really just little Christmas lights on a wheel that someone is off camera and they're pulling a string, right? And it's turning the wheel. So you get one light go by, then another light goes, so it's like cars going by. And all it is a string tied to a light and a wheel spinning around. So yeah, we're going to be back with some more reviews, and we'll be talking about the sports and everything else. And this is October, so check out the scary movies when you can, all the way till the 31st. You know, we're getting ready to go here. Hey Google, what time is it?
6:53.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got about 30 minutes or so. That's what we're trying to do now. Hopefully the camera's good. And the phone's charging now. I just got to make sure. It's weird. It's done this 3 or 4 times. And I don't know if it's just connected. You know how you plug in the wire? Have you ever had that where you plug in your phone and it just don't charge?
No, I never had that done before.
See, that's just my technology I got. Oh, the power went out earlier, yeah, because I got the heater plugged in, but I forgot I can't have it plugged in on one side of the room. I can only have it on the other. Because my power in my room is in the basement. Whenever my stepdad wired it years ago, it's 2 different circuits. So half my room is on one outlet and half's on the other, and you can't have too much plugged into one side. So the heater blew the circuit earlier, and I didn't have no air there, nothing. And I was getting cold, and then I forgot we could only have it plugged in on one side, so I got to have someone plug it in on the other side. It's like Jesus. But you know what? I'm blind and disabled, and I'm in pain, but we're all here for a reason. That's why I started the podcast, to shed some light, and hopefully y'all enjoyed it, and we'll be back soon. Right, Chris? Let me get up here by the camera. We're all related. We all come from the same thing. So remember, if you hurt someone else, you're really just hurting yourself. They can't feel the pain you got inside. So let it go and just love and light. Only love. You have a choice. Love is a choice. So is the hate.
Got that right.
All right. I just gotta find a table. Oh God. Try way over there. It ain't easy. Oh shit. See? I'll get there. That's why I used to put the camera real close to the table and just leave it up. But then I'm looking up my nose, you know what I mean? So I just banged my leg twice and trying to find the table. Okay.